for everybody to get logged in and get connected up. There we go. I have an echo. Okay. I rearranged my studio, so I had everything unplugged. Do I have sound now? Or did that make the sound go away? Okay, so I only have a couple people, so just bear with us while we wait for everybody to kind of come in. I'm not really sure what my sound is doing. This is good. Okay, sounds good. Perfect. Alrighty. Feels like it's been forever since I was doing the show. It's only been a week, about a week, yeah. So I was up in Canada. We were up in Alberta. We went to Banff area, and then we were over in Calgary for a day, and then came back through Jasper and down through Kamloops to home. So really lovely trip. It's probably one of the last trips that I think my husband and I will get to take with, it was Sarah, my husband, and I. So it might be one of the last trips we get to do something like that. So that's why we decided to go ahead and go. My husband rarely takes vacation time. He's always, maxing out his vacation and having to take a day here and there because he doesn't take it the way he should. So it was good to get him to go away. And yeah, there's going to be my haters who are going to complain at me that I shouldn't have left and I shouldn't take off and do anything when I still have stuff that I need to be doing. And it was a very rejuvenating trip for me. Getting up into the mountains is something that kind of recharges my batteries. I'm excited about some projects coming up, and it just was good to have that time with my husband and daughter. And Trevor was doing well back here at home. He has a girlfriend now, and that's going really well. So it was a good trip. And so I'm feeling good about all sorts of things. I did not quite get the water angel, the last of the Angels of the Element series. I did not quite get the digital stuff done for that one, so we couldn't start that one, which is what I was hoping to do, but I didn't get it done before I left, and I haven't had a chance since I've been back. So excuse me, I was trying to rack my brain yesterday. It's like, okay, what are we going to work on? Because I really didn't want to continue working on the other project, the last project. I think 8 classes is sufficient. I will finish it up and show you a little video showing the completed album, but I know it starts, interest in a project drops off after about 6. So by the time doing 8, I think I was pushing the envelope on that one. And so I just kind of was going through what projects do I still have that need to get done that I can do. And so I decided that the album for the pirate ship was going to be the best one to do, because the papers have been done for that one for quite some time. So I've spent the day working on getting the page done, and I did it the way I designed it, and I didn't like it, so I had to redo it again. So I didn't get as many of the pages done as I wanted to be starting tonight, and I didn't get a chance to get the video of the construction of the page done enough time to get it uploaded before I had to be on YouTube. So I will be getting everything uploaded, finishing up some other videos that need to go with it, and everything will be up tomorrow. I'm also, by the time the weekend's over, I have decided, now that I've got this album designed, that I want to add some additional journaling cards and some tags and stuff that weren't originally planned for this paper collection. So I will be adding those in as well. And those of you who have the kits or the digital kits or have purchased the paper will receive those. And then they will be added to that paper collection. So anyway, that's where we are, and so we're working on this album, and I'm still finalizing how I want the container for the album to go along with the pirate ship, and I'll get that all figured out, and everybody will have that by all of that will be all figured out, and everybody will have all the parts and pieces that they need by Tuesday of the electronic pieces. And now that I've also finalized this, I can finalize the elements that go with the kits so that I can get those all shipped out. A couple people have received their kits already, and I will make sure that any items that I've added to the kit, since those were shipped, will receive those additional items as well. So yeah, so anyway, but as I said, I'm feeling good, rejuvenated. We saw more bears than I've ever seen in my entire life. Even growing up in Alaska, we tried to avoid bears, but we saw a mom and twin cubs just north of, it was between Vernon and Salmon Arm, for those of you who know British Columbia. Sitting in the field. It was in, it's farm area, and it was sitting in a field. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. So, and then once we got to Banff, there was a bear and two cubs on the side of the road, and a bunch of people getting out and taking pictures. They have fences in it's a national park, the Banff National Park. They have fences alongside the road, or this wire fences, this basically, and then they have bridges that go over the highway, basically to keep animals from wandering out onto the road and getting hit. So it's not much of a fence, and I know enough about bears that I'm like going, if she really felt threatened and wanted that fence gone, she could take it right down. But everybody felt a sense of security, like it was a zoo, and I'm like, these are wild bears. So I was taking and zooming in, and then I'm like, somebody here is going to do something dumb, so I don't want to be here when that happens. So we got in the car again and left. But so we saw that bear, and then on the way back, also in British Columbia, we saw two bears just kind of sitting on the side of the road. So that was pretty funny. We had an elk where we could practically reach out and touch her. She was just trucking on down the side of the road. So we saw an elk that close. Saw several elk, but that one was like literally, we could hear her breathing, opening the windows to take pictures. Several deer. Sarah wanted to see a moose desperately, but we never did see a moose. So, and the best one I saw in this whole trip is when we were leaving Calgary. My one request is there was one shop that I had wanted to see in Calgary, and I walk into the shop, and who is there, standing there teaching that evening? He'd been there all for several days teaching, and Ken Oliver. So that was very cool. And he recognized me and remembered me, which shocked the padoodles out of me, because I didn't expect that. I've met him once at CHA, but he knew who I was and what I'd done in the past several years and stuff. So I was rather flabbergasted. Got a big hug, and it was awesome. So we're going to keep in touch. He has some contacts and ideas for me. So that was very exciting to get to see him. And he's super nice man. But I was fangirling a bit. He even said he was fanboying a bit as well. And so then also talking with the owner of the shop is we're going to look at me potentially coming up to teach there in Calgary probably next summer sometime, or at least next year. I have no problems going up in the wintertime. So So those of you who can get to Calgary, I will most likely be teaching there sometime next year. So I'm excited about that. So that'll be a lot of fun. But yes, we saw lots and lots and lots and lots of squirrels, Joy. Poor Joy. She loves seeing squirrels. They don't have squirrels in Hawaii, so she loves seeing squirrels when she comes to the States. So, alrighty. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get rolling on this. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, one last thing too is Patches, my daughter's cat, decided to put up a sale while we were headed out of town. And so that sale will run through tomorrow night. And there's a discount. It's not as good as the discount the beginning of summer sale that I had over Memorial Day weekend, but close. So all the digital papers are still on sale, and all of the patterns and video tutorials are on sale. One other thing too with the website, we were having some difficulties with the website when I was trying to get that sale up, and then right before I left, Carol said, let's go in and I need to turn a bunch of things off and on to find out what the real culprit was, and it turns out the calendar that we were using was causing some issues of incompatibility. So she had to take that calendar out, and we put a new calendar in. This was literally the day before I left, and I really hadn't had much opportunity to explore this calendar other than to put the the recent projects and videos up, and that's about all I was able to get done before we had to leave. And so I didn't realize that the whole time I was gone, the calendar was on a list mode, because I didn't know I could have it list mode. So I then enabled this morning, I enabled the list mode and the calendar mode. So now you can see it in whichever you prefer. So you just go on the upper right hand side, and there's a little toggle button, and it says view as, and you can view as a list of upcoming, I don't think it does the past ones, but upcoming, and a view of the calendar that shows not only upcoming but past projects as well. So there is a different calendar under the schedule link on my website, so it'll look a little bit different, but I will still be putting the videos there, as well as I'm trying to migrate all the ones that, when this whole snafu happened, we lost a lot of the past ones on the calendar itself. So, but we have all of them, so I just have to get those. You know, I went through that like year and a half stretch where I was being, with so much going on. I was just going to say I was being lazy, but I wasn't. I just had so much going on that I wasn't putting them immediately into the archives. It was like, oh, I'm going to go back and do a bunch, but I never got back to do the bunch. So I have to get back and do all those bunches now and get those all into the archives. So I have about a year's worth of projects. I think it was a lot of 2017, because I know in 2018 I was being pretty good about getting them into the archives at the same time as the calendar. So I got to go back and do those and get those all done. So anyway, alrighty. So anyway, that solved the issue that we were having problems with the website over that Memorial Day weekend. So Carol, the computer guru that she is, figured that all out. Poor lady, she has to deal with me almost completely melting down when we have these computer issues. I'm just like, so she has to deal with me as well as try to figure it out. She deserves sainthood. Because when these things hit, I just get triggered and I just go into total wackadoodle mode. So poor thing. So I appreciate, Carol, if you're watching it all, I appreciate that you put up with me and my hand wringing and wanting to cry and everything else when the website goes whack. So So anyway, alrighty. So let's go ahead and get rolling. I'm going to switch cameras, and yeah, you can see I've rearranged my studio a little bit. Just is one of the things while we're driving I could think about is like, and wanting to like I crocheted, or Sarah kept saying I was knitting, and I'm going, sweetheart, no, I'm crocheting, but that's okay. All right, so let me hopefully now I don't get sound messed up when I do this. So alrighty, let me check and make sure that the sound is still good. Now I'm back onto my dark table, which I had before. The problem with the dark table is I get like these glare spots. This is from the window, this is from the light, this is from a different light. So I've got to find something to put onto the tabletop to cover for the glare, and I was running around trying to find something. Joy, this one is going to auto record, and this one will be on YouTube, and because it's an embellishment, I'm leaving any kind of embellishment type videos here on YouTube, and it will also be over on the website. So I'm not sure. I got to play around with my broadcaster because it doesn't want to record right now when I'm broadcasting. So I got to figure out why it's not wanting to do that, but we'll get that straight. But because it's on the just the embellishing of the pages, we're not going to worry about the recording because it goes right on YouTube. It's one of the things about YouTube Live I like is it does do a recording. So I tried to record, but let me try one more time. It wants me to upgrade to some sort of something or other, but you don't have to upgrade, so I don't understand why it won't record. It records when I'm not broadcasting, because that's how I record my video, so I don't quite know why it won't. It's weird. It's like everything else, when they do an update, I get confused. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so, well, we're not going to worry about it for today. So, just to remind people, since this has been close to a year since this paper had come out, so if you have ordered one of the pirate ship kits, the pirate ship digital kits, or the pieces of 8 paper, this is the pieces of 8 paper, so don't order it again. So, and if you have a question as to whether or not you should have it, please contact me, and I can check your account and make sure you did, rather than going ahead and purchasing it. So let me just real quick run through. I did manage to get them all trimmed up. Let me just run through the papers. And it's all in kind of teals, reds, and golds were the main colors used in this collection. It's upside down. There's a lot of map and compass themes, anchors. I didn't go for the cutesy type of pirate. I went more for the dramatic. Compass rose. Pirate ship. Skull and crossbones. You have to have a red and green stripe. Just have to. Hi, Lilybug. Well, I never really, well, I was going to say I never really stopped making things, but I did. There was about a 2.5 month period where I couldn't get anything done. So, so yeah, I guess I did stop making things, but I pushed on, and we're back here, and we're getting there. We're getting there. We're slowly digging through the projects that we still need to complete, and I still need the patterns done and stuff. That's my biggest backlog. My biggest backlog is not shipping. My biggest backlog is getting patterns written and samples made. And that's not something I can readily delegate because I make the samples while I'm completing design work and stuff, so it's not easy to just like hand it off for somebody else to do the samples. So I'm a little crooked there. New setup with my my camera and stuff, so I'm just getting used to all that. That was, we went on a hike in Banff, and there was this, you could kind of crawl through this cave thing to get a better view of this. It was a series of waterfalls. And so when we were going through that little cave, I go, oh, look, there's light up there. I have to take a picture. People will get a good chuckle out of this, that you know, it is light and not necessarily a train. So, you know, we're getting there. It's a slow process. But rather than compromising anything, I'd rather take the heat and the complaints and they upset people and put out a product that I'm pleased with, rather than rushing it and pushing it out the door just to push it out the door. So, but then I've said that for a long time. Alrighty, guys. So again, this is Pieces of 8. It is currently on sale. If you don't have it already, it is one of the papers that is on sale. So I do want to show you the page that we're going to be working on. This could be done, it's not super specific. I try very careful. I'm trying to be very careful about that with the albums that even go with projects. The container for this album will be very specific to the pirate ship, but this album or album pages are not. So they could be done pretty much in any kind of paper. It is I have this open for my binding. It is a top bound page. So it goes from this side and it flips up this way. So on this front side, it's got two kind of card elements. So it's got the small one, which will have a journal card or tag that will go on here. This will be attached down to form a pocket here. So that'll flip out of the way. You can do like journaling here, a photo here, photo and journaling, and this all opens up. So this could be attached down to be a pocket. I probably will do that on one or two of the pages, and I'm just closing this up to where it's kind of gatefolding, and then there will be a closure that will across here. On the sides, there's a center pocket where this black is. So there's a pocket here, and then when it flips up, because again it's bound here at the top, it'll flip up, and then on this side there's two pockets, and then there's this long flap. We'll have a pocket at the bottom, and it will be attached down here to hold it closed. It'll flip up out of the way. There's plenty of room for a photo on the back of it. And then this is a pocket, and then this little flap will also become a pocket. So all 5 pages will be the same page, but we can modify and change things as I always do. Came back to Seattle. I'm basically allergic to the state. I've been doing nothing but sneezing. So alrighty. So I think this will be a fun page to work on. As again, we'll close down these sides. As you know, I do things kind of I like to close those while I am embellishing on the pages. So we're just going to work on this page tonight because, as I said, I got another page. It's the exact same thing done, but I have the other one still to do as well. And then, so at the next class on Tuesday, I should have all the pages constructed so that then we can have them put into the album. And I can show you how I'm going to bind and cover and do the cover, since it's a top. We haven't done a top bound one in a while. So, alrighty. So let's see which papers, what we want to do here on this form. I'm going to leave this thing blank because, again, this is going to have one of the journal cards, which I will have completed by over the weekend. That's going to have one of the journal cards on it. So let's see. And I want to put, probably the way this is, this will open up and stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to put a strip here and a strip here, so then I can just add paper into that center section. So let's go ahead. You know I was going to do a stripe. You just knew I was going to, and you know it was going to be the red one. You pretty much knew it had to be a given that it was going to be that red stripe, right? How many had guessed that I would probably do the red stripe? Do like a 3/8 inch. Oh, we also, that was another thing. They're talking about the Decorah eagles in the chat, and that was another thing that we saw. We saw 2 different nesting eagles sitting in their nest. That was kind of cool. So I'm going to run this. I think it actually needs, didn't do that dead center, so I'm going to trim this one down to 1/4 inch, or at least a little bit. Maybe a kind of fluffy 1/4 inch. Or a thick 1/4 inch. Not right at the end, so let's do. I do need to still get more foamy thingy boobles. And I'm inking with Vintage Photo. Oh, red and white stripes are definitely Pirate's Joy. All right, so there. Regardless of whether you guys want to call those Raggedy Ann stripes, elf stripes, all of that, just fine. Just do that. You can call it that if you want. That's fine. I'm not offended. No. Let's see. What if we put something like that along there? I like that one. Where did the pencil? Well, Joy, there will be a parrot on one of the journal cards, so. See, Pam, that's because we're sisters of choice, because you love stripes. Joy secretly likes stripes. I know she does. She just doesn't want to admit that. Let's see what we do here. Let's get something kind of aqua-ish. Do we want that on? Do I like that one? Okay, so we can make this about 3 1/4, so it slips down inside there. So that, I like that. That works. Because then there will be a tag in there, so. Oh, Disneyland must be a fun place for Halloween. So I'm just going to go on top there. So that would be, yeah, that would be a really fun place for Halloween. Okay, I got to find, I forgot to get out the metallic paper, so let me find some real quick. I knew there was something I'd meant to do beforehand that I didn't get out. There's copper. I don't really want copper. I like gold. There's some. Voila! Alright, so I'm going to make some little taberdoodle things to close that. So I'm going to cut like a, I'll probably cut it lengthwise. And I need 1/2 inch under, about 3, so cut these by 1.25 inches. Then I'm going to topper out the corners. Ouch, I just stabbed myself with my scissors that were in the drawer. That was a little comfy. I won't sit here like I have done this so many times in the past on my shows. Just empty these out because I never think to empty them out. So we're just gonna force the issue. There. I'll clean it out after. And as you know, I like my little dot. Right there. Right there. Yuck, it's raining here. It's yucky, yucky, yucky. And then I also need to score 1/2 inch tab on it. It can gives it that tarnished look. So I've just put the glue on the tab part that's attaching back to here my page, and then this is going to flip and attach to the front there. Let's stick this underneath then. So it's attaching underneath, and I just wrapped it around, stuck it down, so now I can apply glue to the front side. And again, this can be done out of any paper that you want. It doesn't have to be piratey. As you can see, I've tried to keep it a generic look type album. Flip that up. Attach that down. So then, again, as I said, I'm going to have a closure that we're going to do that's going to go from across here. So it'll hold whatever's in this pocket, plus it'll hold these flaps closed. Or we might do it from the bottom over to there or something, but we'll figure that out. All right. So then we can go inside, do stuff in here. I want this one on top of that. Yeah, so it's alternating. So that one goes on top. So let's do this guy here next. And this could be a good photo spot. Let's see. Did that help? I suddenly lost sound and I didn't touch anything, so I don't know why I lost sound. Did that help at all? Can you hear me now? You can hear now? Okay. I don't know what happened. I might have wiggled a connection or something. Everybody who has my phone number was texting me. No sound!
So the map's under there. I also think since this collection, I've also started doing some solid print things. So I think I'm going to add some solid prints to this collection. You know, 2 or 3 at least. Instead of just the cardstock. Oh, it's going to go right there. Yeah, so I like those two. And now I have to decide what I want to put down there. I don't know if I necessarily want to do. I don't want to do the red stripe, but I don't also want to do the dark stripe. So what do I want to do? What do you want to do there, Laura? Do a little red strip here. That's what I'm going to do. I know, shocked you, didn't I, that I didn't do the stripe there. Now, if you have bought the pirate ship kit, the shippable kit, this album is part of the kit. If you bought the digital kit, I'd have to look because I don't recall if the digital kit had this as part of it or not. I believe it did, but I'm not positive. I meant to look that up and I didn't. The digital kit includes the pattern and the papers. But that, as I said, I don't recall if it was for just the pirate ship and that pattern or if it was this as well. If anybody wants to pop in there and see what it says. But I do know that the papers went into those shippable kits last year. So if it's not in your account and you don't recall whether you bought the regular kit, the shippable kit, or the digital kit, that may tell you. The digital kit. Okay, it says shipping. Okay, I don't know why it would say be sold out. Okay. I'll have to pull that back. I'll check on all that after. I'll check on it and let you all know. Excuse me, over on Paper Doodles. I'll have to check on it. These kits all went up post after the meltdown of the website meltdown. So if you purchase one, it should show up in your account. If you did so, Karen, drop me a quick email so that I remember to look at your account specifically. And if you did so, I will give you store credit back for the paper. If it's supposed to be included and you ordered both, I'll credit it back to you. All right, so that gives us those two. Perfect spots for photos. Okay, let's do it on something on this one. Thusly one. Do anchors? The anchors work. Let's do the anchors. I think we'll do the anchors there. And this one there. Maybe the orangey corner. Let's do that. Good night, Lois. Thank you for coming. I know that you do early nights on Fridays. I decided I like this one with the kind of corrosive looking stuff on it. And that's going to go right there. Keeping this one real simple. Okay, thanks, Christine. That's what okay, name just went completely flying out of my brain. That's what Karen had already said. Yeah. So those, even when it said sold out, it still showed up in the website, because when it's sold out, it's not supposed to show up on the website. It's supposed to disappear. So I have to check on something with that. I thought it was both patterns, so I was anticipating putting it up in them. What I didn't recall is with the digital one, whether the digital one included it or not. I know for a fact, absolutely for a fact, that the shippable kit did, but not the. I wasn't sure about the digital, if it was just the ship. It says out of stock. It's not even supposed to show. Okay, that's a tweak we need to make. The platform we use for the shop had some updates recently too, so that probably they updated and it messes up some of the settings. Trying to stay in front of that can be challenging. Let's see, what do we want running down the edge of that? What do I want? Do I want to do that same thing? Yeah, I think that same one looks good between those. Okay. We'll do that one again. Or do I still have some of it? No, that was a pretty long piece, so no, I wouldn't have a long enough piece. It's kind of a corroded looking mask. Okay, well, thank you for checking on that, you guys. So I need to get that straightened out. So I guess that answers your question. But and I also need to check on the digital one. It's not sold out because it's digital, so there's no reason for it to be sold out. So something's gotten screwed up with that. Okay, there's a separate kit for the ship only, and then the 2 kits for the entire project. Okay, so it's the ship only would be a digital kit only. And it should say digital. If it's the shippable one, it will say pirate ship kit. It originally was going to be a part of my Passport to Creativity single project, one of my single project ones, and then we ended up doing it for National Scrapbook Day last year. So if those are the 2 shippable kits, those should be the 2 shippable kits, but I combined those all into the pirate ship kit this morning. And then I got sidetracked on something else and didn't get the look at the digital one. Unless there's a digital that includes the album as well. But there's not a shippable one for just the ship. But I'll get it all straightened out and let everybody know over on Paper Doodles. Okay, so that's got that band down it. So that gives us those guys. And then we're going to go whoop! And we've got a nice big area here that we can put something like possibly that. Might be kind of cool to put the ships over on that side. That kind of just continues that same aqua stuff up there, so I don't know if that, but I like that. No. Maybe I'll do the map stuff and just have something along this edge because I like the map there. So that works. Let's do the... Oops. 8 1/4. But she usually goes back and watches the video. So we're doing lots of blue for Lois. And everybody's coming and there's no one here to see it. She's not here to see it. So, but as I said, she usually watches the video, so she can, she'll see it on the video. All right, so that's going to go right here. Like so. And I'm not going to worry about these little bits. You can fill those in if you want to, but I'm not going to worry about those little bits. And I did make these flaps wide enough that even with the matting on there, you can put a 4x6 photo on there. And it won't cover up. It'll at least leave that little edge of mat. Because they have a 4 1/4 mat on them. No, it shows. I don't know why it's a digital kit, so it shouldn't be. But I was also taking off the NSD part. But I took that off of the shippable kits today, and those are, I know, are out of stock. But the digital kit should not be out of stock. So I'll look into it, Karen, afterwards and let you know. Because without looking at it, I can't really answer specifics. But I will be more than happy to let you know afterwards. But it's just curious because it used to be when things would go out of stock, then they would no longer show in the store, which is what they're supposed to do. So. Because that would mean I have a ton of out-of-stock kits from years past that may be showing that I don't want them to. So I need to go in and check that out. Which is why it's supposed to fall off and not show in the shop at all. But no, it wouldn't be because of that, Christine, because the it's a separate item in the store from the paper, so it wouldn't list it just because the papers are listed in there. It's in an entirely different category as the a la carte papers, so I'll look at it after. Yeah, I want to see this one in different papers, so. I wish I could twinkle my nose and magically have it done in other papers too. But yeah, I had this telescoping section that was like a what is, the spyglass or whatever they're called. It's like not binoculars, but it's not a telescope either. What is it? But I didn't like how it looked goofy and it was hard to slide. So I bagged that idea. And this way it also fits for a more generic album for other things. Please tell me I didn't do, oh, this is still the front. I was going to say, please tell me I'm not doing stuff upside down. And I'm not, because I'm still on the front side. But Deborah, those aren't mine. So I decided on this guy. Where's my tick mark? There it is. Well, welcome, Deb. Glad you could join us. It seems Friday nights work so much better for people. I'm glad to be back on Friday nights again. Can I go run that right over against that fold edge? Because I'm going to do something along here. I think I'll just do some sort of punched black. I've got a strip of some black that I ended up not using earlier. So oh, excuse me. Get the purples. Okay, let me go grab a punch real quick. I don't know which one I'm going to grab. I'm just going to grab one that looks appropriate. Let's see this one. We're going to use French Scroll. I just wanted something kind of iron-like for some reason. I don't know why. Clean up that little nubby. And that little nubby. Probably should have done this underneath, but I didn't, so we'll just trim it down off about 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, see, that works fine along there. Just add some little foofiness. You could also add some right there if you so choose, just to repeat it. See, now I can't do voiceovers and do that kind of stuff. I can't edit videos and add that kind of stuff, so this works for me. All right, so we go this one, and that's fine that those are the same. This one, that one, and then we're going to have this one attach across to and have some sort of tie. So where I'm going to go flip first. Whoops, flipped a little too hard. We're going to do this side before we do that. So we've got this flap that's just going to have this little pocket guy on there. So let's see if any of these papers that I've already, it's about the only one that's wide enough. I don't know if I want him front and center. I'll have a pocket in, I'll have a tag in front of him, but let's see what else. What else do we have? What do we have for this one? Is this wide enough? It's not, but it'll work for this down here. So we'll do that, I think. I'm such a miser. I'm terrible. This would be kind of cool. Especially if I do something like, or that's too much red stripe. What about this guy? This there. Put it in that one. Okay, I can't pick. I gotta decide on one. I don't get to do this much longer. I kind of like that one. It kind of cuts that half that compass rose. Oh, then I wouldn't do that. There. Then I could go something neutral. Then I could bring in. I don't like that with it. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. That'll work. Okay, let's do this one. And that one's underneath. Because I like the flowers. And this paper is called Pieces of 8. And it's in the shop and it is on sale currently. We can cut that down. Go about 1/2 inch past where the top of the pocket is. That's going to go right thusly. And this is stitches. Well, that's going to go right there. That's going to go right there. I think I want to do just a little red stripe. Yeah, see, I just like little bits of the stripe. Not too much. Don't want to overpower, so just little bits. So we'll just do like a 3/8 inch strip. Oh, I should have printed out the wood too. Think about that. Okay, let's get these hooked down so that I can figure out what I want to do down at the bottom there. Bye, Christine. Enjoy the game. Go Toronto. Sorry. And then I'm rooting for Boston in the NHL Stanley Cup. I cannot believe I'm rooting for Boston. Enjoy it, Pam, while you can, because it's probably never happening again that I will root for them. We've converted you, Deborah. There is some hockey down in Australia. I'm not sure where, but because there was a guy that used to play here locally that is on a team down there. So I don't know where they play, but there is at least a league in Australia. Pam's like, hey now. I'm just waiting for the Seattle team. We don't know what it's called yet, so I can't say what it is because we don't know yet. So sorry, Deb. My son plays hockey, so I tend to talk about hockey a lot. So everybody is like, I'm sure like you, thoroughly, completely, and totally sick of hearing about hockey. What should we put below that? Shall we just continue? No, 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 nope. Ooh, I like the ship here. Oh, I like that. That looks good. That'll work. That'll work. Well, when they're in the Stanley Cup, it's a big deal. So I'm sure you're getting a lot more being in the St. Louis area. It's funny. I have lots of teams that I like, mainly because it depends on what team some of the guys that I've watched play junior hockey, what team, where they're playing. So that's where I tend to like. But once Seattle's a team, I'll have to become a Seattle fan. Unless I really hate the name, then I might struggle. But all right. Yeah, so we got to meet Trevor's new girlfriend when we got back from Canada. She's a cutie. She's a real sweetheart. And they seem to get along really, really well. And she puts up with Trevor. Okay, I'm making them my little tabs. Again, the same way. I need to stack them and do them this time. The rain can go away. I just keep looking outside and it's raining. It's pretty funny. Sarah wants to give her the third degree. Mom and Dad were easy. Sarah, that's the one that's got to pass. She's got to pass the test with. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, he's kind of over the moon, Pam. It's pretty funny. So I'm kind of centering the center of my tab here on that stripe. Oh, thank you, Margaret. I'll make sure and tell her that. Okay, that's stuck down there. So then that little pocket's good to go. So then this is going to attach here. So we can flip that up out of the way. We can go ahead and attach this guy on there. It's a little bit skinny, but it's close enough. I think I'm going to do the little red stripe here too, because I think that would look really cute underneath. So just pop out on those two little edges. So I know Joy is excited that I'm doing another stripe. She's like, oh, yeah, keep the stripes coming. Poor Joy. I abused her so badly about the stripe situation. I'm hoping, I heard my husband leave again. I hope he went to go work out and didn't go walk the dog, because he's going to come back soaked with a wet dog if he's walking the dog. Yeah, so I think that'll look cute. It'll look cute, 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 cute. Let's see. That's the same thing with the kit. Stripe going that way. What about this underneath here? And then the bottom, we're down there. I like that. I think that's what we're going to do. 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. When they're cut short, they're more like checks, and then it's more palatable. Is that it? Where are we at for time? We're good. Okay. How wide do I need it? This one. Okay, that's going to work right there. Put that down over the top. Like it. This paper pack is called Pieces of 8. Yes, it is in the shop. It's been in the shop for quite some time as I'm running, as I have been behind on getting some of these projects sampled and completed and patterned and all that good stuff. Joy just posted the link for Deborah. All right, so I'm going to make my little taberdoodles for the pocket. The link is showing for me. Showing again. Thank you, Joy. Well, I saw the link each time you posted it, Joy, so I don't know. That's kind of strange. Oh, thanks, Lilybug. I'm glad to see you here. It's wonderful to have you back. So that makes, so we have our little pocket there. We have our pocket here. We have a pocket here. So now we just have the back of this. And this is the, nope, this is the binding edge. So this is when it flips up. So here's the front, and then it flips up, and there's the back side, and it'll have another one of these here. So, so we just have, then we can put tags in. So let's get this guy up here figured out. Maybe this is where a good one where this can go, this piece. Let's do that one. So after going on our hike that we went on in Banff, and I realized how horrifically out of shape I am these days. We're going healthy, so eating healthy. We'll see how long this lasts. Of course, I sell my dog Dr. Pepper, but you know, hey, we can't do everything all at once. But we made cauliflower tacos last night. I know it sounds gross, but they have got to be probably the best tacos I've ever had. I gotta sneeze though. But excuse me. But they were so good. I was shocked. I like them better than chicken or beef tacos. It was really yummy. It doesn't even taste like cauliflower, so. I made them. That's one thing nice. This new girlfriend of Trevor's, she cooks. And I talked to her about making sure he eats some vegetables on occasion. He tends to eat only, you know, frozen processed stuff, so she cooks. So that's good. Now Sarah needs to find a boy that cooks because she can't cook worth beans. All right, so there we go there. Like I said, pocket, flap with a pocket. So we'll attach, and we'll attach this. And again, this is going to be one of the journaling cards right here. So then we've got this space here. Now this is open because it needs to go in the bottom. But I've got a space here, and a space here for a tag. Excuse me. So let's see. I don't know what color I want to cut those tags out of. I don't know if I want to do them just black or if I want to do them out of a color. The aqua might be kind of cool. I'm going to grab some of the aqua paper and see. Oh, I had some of the aqua. Aqua! Here it is. Here it is, here it is, here it is. I thought aqua might look kind of cool. It may be quite wonderful. Let's see. So this one can be, it's kind of like 4 3/4. Let's see, it's just 4 3/4 square. It's kind of cozy, so we need to trim down the yolks. Cut that down to 4 1/2. Never a dull moment around here. That's much better. Go down to the, how far in can it go? How far can it go? Okay, so we're gonna do it to, we're gonna cut, we're gonna get 1 1/4 off. Bam. Let's see if that size fits on the other side real quick. Oops. Let's do that That'll work as well. So it'll work up here too if I slip it inside the. That's where that is. I think it's a little too tight for this side. I tried to get it centered, but I might not have gotten it exactly. Okay. So we're going to do the ones on the back side 4 1/4, and this one 4 1/2. The other two, so that's cut them out of this size. And I cut that, so 8 1/2, 7 1/2, 7 1/4. So I cut this to 7 1/4 and then cut it in half. Bam, bam, that gives me my 2 on 2. Much better. I don't make them all the same depth. So those will look cute along that side. Now I'm gonna maybe leave, I don't know if I want to do, if I do something in the center, but I do know I want to do a little stripy top on it. We'll do this with the black stripe on the tags. So let's do like a 3/4 inch. Maybe I'll do the 2 outer ones, the dark, and the inner one, the red. The center one, the red. Okay, so that's for the center guy. And that's for one of the outer guys. That's for another outer guy. Now you don't often see me inking colored cardstock, but I think I just want it to have that kind of aged feel. But my brush, my foamy thing is getting really bad. So it's kind of giving it a weirdness, but that's okay. And I may put some parchment in the center on one side for a journaling thingy. soon as I get these all done, I'm going to show you what I'm going to use as tabs on here and how you go about creating those that I'm going to use as the tabs on here. Oh, this is making it look ratty on the edge, but that's fine. It's a Pirates album, so I'm okay with it's not being perfect. It's always a Saturday. It's the first Saturday in May. So yeah, point out how late I am. I know. I mean that in a joking way. Actually, I think I'm gonna like it to where it stops right there. I'm not done yet. Yes, you may ask me something.
Is it okay if I go up to Lake Stevens and meet her?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave now. Are you guys fine just eating the leftovers?
Yeah, is Dad home or did he go out? Or? Okay, yeah, that's fine. He's got we got his car if I need to go out. Not super late, please. No, I am late though, so. But we're getting there. It's not a fast process, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I just keep on plugging, you know? That's all I can do. I can't magically make them all appear. Super late is generally she needs to be heading home by 2. She's over 18. She's almost 19 now. So, you know. And that's mainly just because she has my car and I just don't like her out on the road that late. So. I know, Tucker, she left you in here, didn't she? She locked you in here with Mom. You poor thing. And I like the stripes on the pockets. Joy can use something else on her pockets, I guess. All right, so that's on the back side. And then here's on the front side with those on there. But what I want to show you next is what I'm going to do to create little tabs to go on these so that they are, let me see if that's still too wide. That's going to be it. Okay. And then it's going to create what those pieces of 8, which is the coins. So what I've done is I've taken some lightweight chipboard. And I've used one of the Spellbinders, Embossabilities. A lot of, Tim's got some new embossing plates. So these are plates that you just take and put your paper or chipboard in between and run it through your machine. And it will then emboss it. This one happens to actually be called... I don't really know. It's called EL034. But you can use it either side. So it can be this way, but you can also flip it this way. So it's, you know, it's got different stuff on this side. See, this has got this. It's got this texture, and then this one's got this texture. Oh, God. Tucker wants out of here. All right, I'll let you out. Oh, Pepper, leave him be. Pepper's messing with it. Okay, come on. Out, Tucker. Come on, out. Out. Go. Yeah, so Pepper came over and was messing with him. So anyway, all right. So I embossed the chipboard, and it really doesn't matter. You just want something, some sort of shape, because when you take the pieces of 8 coins, had just texture on them. And so what I'm going to do then with these guys is I will paint them with some gold acrylic paint, and then distress them along the edges. Once they're painted, then I'll just distress them with my usual distress inks. And then I can add these onto here, and those will be my little tabs. But that and it doesn't really matter where you punch them or what the texture is. You just want some sort of texture, because that's what the pieces of 8 were like. Where's that pieces of 8? I mean, this is taking a photo of some pieces of 8 things, and then doing stuff to it. But so they were just very textural. They weren't real perfect. So just using any kind of texture plate to create the pieces of 8. So what I'll do then is I'll paint some of these up and distress them a bit. And on Tuesday's class, we'll put some of the tabs onto our page. I do think I want those to tuck it inside, because I want these to stick out a bit like that. And then those will be able to stick out just a squidger. So I think that's going to look really cute with those gold, and that'll pick up on the gold that's in it. You alternately, if you didn't want to paint these, you could do it out of your metallic gold paper, and I would do kind of a couple of layers and then run them through the texture, because then you wouldn't have to paint them, which is another option to do. Or you could put the paper on the lightweight chipboard. It might be hard to punch them. So if I were going to do it that way, I think what I do is I'd go ahead and punch out of the metallic paper and then punch out of the lightweight chipboard. And then you can just take the plain, these are already textured, but you can just take the plain ones And then you could maybe set them where you want them specifically and then run them through, because you're not going to be able to punch through the lightweight chipboard with 2 layers of metallic on there. So I'm going to try that method as well and see how that works. But I did want to show you this so that you could potentially prep some, or if you don't have a texture plate, figure out. The other thing you can do, and I tried it, is you can take the chipboard circles, and I just took with some of my glue and just did some texture on them. I didn't like how it came out real well, so I tossed it out because I was actually trying to make a plate or an embossing thing, and it didn't work. But excuse me, you could do that with the glue. The hot glue gets too stringy, but using the glue and let them dry, and then you could potentially paint them with the glue on there, and I think that would work. So make some pieces of 8 to put on there. So anyway, so front page, there's a pocket here, space on each of there, space there, space there, space, space. So there's lots of, and you could also, as I had said, on one of the pages, I'm going to attach this one down, so this will be a pocket. So that one will go right there, there. I also move this up. You can center it, you can move it low. I might do it low on one and attach, if it's down here, attach this as a pocket, kind of a tuck type pocket. So as you know, I like these to be versatile where we can do all sorts of things. I'll have a journaling card to go in here, and we'll also get the closure. And then, so this is bound at the top, so then it'll flip. This will be a closure on there as well. Tag will fit in there. And then it flips up. There's room on there. There's a pocket and a pocket. And then we've got the pocket, 3 pockets along the side. So I'm happy with this, considering that it was like the original one. I just didn't like how it came out, but I think this will also work well done out of other papers as well. So I think it'll be a fun album that can be used for all sorts of things. But again, this is the Pieces of 8 paper. It's on sale through tomorrow night. Saturday night I'll take the sale back down again. So anyway, I will also be uploading the video for the paper page construction, as well as the cutting guide and supply list for constructing the pages. And the container box, all of that will get up over the weekend, and it'll all be available by Tuesday. I'm also going to add to this paper collection. It didn't originally have journaling cards, but I'm going to add some journaling cards and some maybe tags or cut aparts. I think cut aparts actually would be more what I may want for this one. So, but I'll be adding some elements to the paper collection that weren't originally planned. So, you know, it pays to wait. Sometimes you get some extra goodies. So, I'll have all this then. All of that will be ready by Tuesday. And as I said, it'll be a video tutorial for the construction of the pages, the way I always do with all of my album pages now. And so, and anybody that's supposed to be getting the album as part of their kits will be getting that. I'll check in on what the deal is on the digital, get that straightened around. And I will also have, this paper is already available a la carte, and you'll get the extra, the pages, whatever the elements that I add to this, everybody will get those if you're supposed to be getting this paper. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna let you guys all skedaddle out of here. I'm gonna go say hi to the hubs, have some dinner. But everybody have an amazing weekend. We'll be back then on Tuesday morning. I'm liking this Friday nights again. It's working well for me. So Friday nights and Tuesdays. Tuesdays at 10. Friday nights at 5 Pacific. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific. And you never know when I might pop in on occasion other times. I'm also got a cool series that I thought up while I was gone for some YouTube videos, kind of a la What's Up Wednesday. I'm not going to say anything more, just a little tease. But I want to start doing some quick, short little videos again, like I used to do back in the day. So, alrighty, guys. Everybody have an amazing, amazing weekend. And we'll see you on Tuesday morning. As always, Joy, thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate your helping me out and your friendship. So, y'all are awesome. And thank you all of you for joining me. And we'll see you Tuesday. Peace out. Love you guys bunches. Bye for now.